The pattern swapped. What the fuck is going on?
Show cap. Stop recording.
Light bulb trick doesn't work. Here we have Wild Gunman. What do you gotta use your hands? That's like a baby's toy.
Back to the Future joke. Ya da da, yam da da, yam da da, yam da da, yum dum dum dum.
The Super Nintendo also had its own gun, more like a big-ass bazooka, the Super Scope. If you're familiar with the Zapper, this one's a totally different story. The Zapper used light detection. That is, when you pull the trigger, the screen goes black for a fraction of a second and the targets become white squares. The Zapper detects whether or not it's pointing at the light, hence the term light gun that everybody likes to call it. But the Super Scope uses a sensor that you plug into the Super Nintendo, much like the Wii and its Wii Zapper. Another thing about the Super Scope is that it isn't powered by the NES. It's wireless, which you'd think would be cool, but that means that you gotta use 6 AA batteries, and this fucking beast drains them in a few hours. And why is the trigger on the top? It should be down here. This is balls. You think the Super Scope would be more reliable than the original Zapper, but it's not. Even if I point the gun in the same spot, the bullets just scatter all over the place. All because I'm using a flat screen TV. Now let's look at the Miracle Piano. It's a miracle if I can figure this shit out. You might be thinking, wow, Nintendo had a piano? Well, yeah, Nintendo had everything, but it was also available on other game consoles and home computers. It's got one game, which is basically a piano teaching tool. It's actually not bad. Well, that's really all there is to say. My only complaint is that the music comes from the keyboard, which is okay, but the metronome comes from the TV, and that can be a little confusing. Other than having standard lessons, you also get this robot game. Play the song right or the robot dies. Then there's a duck game. You gotta shoot the ducks. Come on. Yeah, I'm shooting ducks with the piano. Next we have the Power Pad. You lay it on the floor, kind of like Twister. Let's pop in good old world-class track meet and have a race, jump hurdles, and do the long jump or triple jump. The present-day equivalent of the Power Pad is Dance Dance Revolution, and there will also be a version on the Wii.
Which would be Just Dance.
It's meant to be a family game, but most kids I knew played it alone in their room, and that meant that if your room was upstairs, your parents would hear like all this thumping and shit. They hated it. Cats and dogs would piss and shit on it. In fact, just thinking about it makes me feel like having an anal evacuation. Fuck this. Yeah, it all comes down to tapping buttons, which brings us to our next accessory. Probably the stupidest thing ever invented, the speed board. What is it? It's a piece of fucking plastic. You attach your controller. You get it? In case you don't want to hold the controller with your hands, in case you enjoy playing on the floor or behind a table, then this is for you. It's embarrassing. What's the point? To put the speed at your fingers? Why in the ass would I need that? If I'm playing a game that involves having to tap the buttons like crazy, I'm probably going to get a turbo controller like the NES Max or NES Advantage. How could they even sell such a thing? Even though it's made by a third-party company, it was actually licensed by Nintendo. It's like covering a turd in ice cream sprinkles. Next up, oh boy, the Konami Laser Scope. Now I just want to go on record by saying I fucking love Konami. But this thing reeks of ass. It's essentially yet another form of the Zapper, but it's voice controlled. To shoot, you say fire. Fire! 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 It also has headphones, and it advertises on the box that you can use it for your Game Boy or Walkman. just detach the scope module. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I would look so cool walking around listening to my iPod with this fucking thing on my head. It also advertises that parents will love what they don't hear. It says, while the laser scope surrounds the player with the sounds of exciting gameplay action, non-players can listen to music, read a book, talk on the phone, or have a conversation in the same room. Yeah, while you're saying, fire, 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 kind of defeats the purpose, right? Fire, 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 fuck. I didn't say fire, I said fuck. Fuck. Fuck fire. Fuck. Fuck. Ass. You can say anything. Shit. Bitch.
It's
Cunt. Fuck.
7:45.
Fuck.
Show caption. Stop.